Hey guys, welcome back again to a new year. It literally is 2024 now, and JB is blindfolded for a great experiment that I have for you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do here. Then we're going to give JB 3 cigars, and he's going to tell me if the bourbon that I picked matches each cigar. All next on the Zeal Cigar Review. Well, how you feeling, man?
Good, man.
Feeling good?
Good.
You ready for 2024?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah? Excited? Good year? Excited for a good year?
It should be.
It should be a great year.
Who knows, bro?
Should be awesome. We don't know, but hey, we're looking forward for positive stuff. We're excited about that. And we start the year off by drinking bourbon and smoking cigars. Well, you are. I'm not going to. I'm going to join you in some bourbon, not the cigars, because I have to do another video after this with you that I'll tell you about later on. But I told JB, and I've told you guys many times, I think I have the perfect bourbon that matches every cigar. So I have 3 cigars that are different wrappers, and they're basically a Connecticut, a Habano, and a Maduro. And JB is going to taste the bourbon with the cigar, and he's going to be able to tell you how it pairs with the cigar. So in order to do that, you know what we got to do? We got to cut light in, smoke. This is out of fuel.
Pretty much.
Everything's out of fuel right now. All right, JB, here is your very first cigar. We're going to see how it pairs with the... Cheese pizza, just hit it with my... We're going to see how it pairs with the ever-popular bourbon that I put in front of you. So, I don't know if you could put your hand out. There's the cigar. I already cut it for you and everything like that. So you can purge it and then relight it if you want. Okay. Is that your first cigar of the day, or did you smoke this morning?
No, I didn't smoke anything today.
Okay. First cigar of the day. I'm going to be cheersing to a 2024 with you.
Tastes a little familiar.
Yeah? I'm sure it does. I'm sure it tastes familiar to you. I really think this bourbon is the actual perfect bourbon for every cigar. That's my personal opinion. So, but JB's going to give you his opinion here in a second. One of the reasons I'm doing this video is people ask me all the time, what should I pair with my cigar? What bourbon should I get? And I tell them tons of different bourbons, but I always come back to one bourbon in particular that I feel pairs with almost every cigar wrapper that I've smoked with it. And this is the bourbon. So we're going to see what JB thinks about this pairing with the cigar he's smoking. The purpose of the video is to show how it blends with how the whiskey complements the different wrappers. Almost every wrapper I've tasted it on. So they said it could be a natural, it could be a Habano, or it could be a sun-grown.
Yeah.
Okay. How does it pair with the bourbon?
Pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Caramel breadiness with maybe like a little bit of nut. It helps get rid of like the woodiness that this cigar kind of had to it at the beginning.
Okay. That's fair.
A little sweet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it a good pairing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would say they go good together.
Good. That's awesome.
But yes, I would say this is a good pairing. I wouldn't mind smoking this together.
Yeah, it's a very good pairing, I thought. Well, somebody had asked me recently about this, and they were saying, how do I choose what whiskeys I go with my cigars? And I'm like, by experience. I've smoked a lot of whiskey. I've drank a lot of whiskey, and I've smoked cigars. I've paired a lot of whiskeys and a lot of cigars. As a result, I think I can say this whiskey pretty much pairs with every cigar.
A little bit more of like a leathery creaminess.
Okay.
Like the bourbon helps make it like a little bit sweeter.
You ready for cigar number 2?
Yeah, we can move. Or
okay.
Do I gotta...
You're good.
Where's that water?
You're good. The water's right there to your left right there. Okay, you're good. Any idea on the cigar? On what it is?
Not sure yet.
Okay.
But it's got a unique... I don't know if it's the bourbon, the smoke before. There's like a uniqueness to the finish.
Now, bourbons can cause a cigar to taste different. There's no doubt about that.
Whoa.
I heard a whoa. That sounded like something from Blossom back in the day. Whoa. Do you remember that?
Uh-uh.
You don't? Okay.
Blossom.
Remember the show Blossom?
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay. It's an old 90s.
When I hear Blossom, I think Blossom Music Center.
No.
This is like, especially with the bourbon, it's lighter, smoother. It's got a really unique, like, smoky creaminess to it. Maybe like bready cocoa.
Bready cocoa. And how does that pair with the cigar? How does the bourbon and the cigar pair together? Did the other one pair better than that one, or is that one pairing as good?
They just pair different. I
Okay.
guess it depends on what your mouth is looking for. There's a lot more creamy sweetness in this, but there's also a very different... There's a note in this there's a note mixed with the bourbon in this that is almost like a... the aftertaste is like a weird cocoa-y almost like a woody leathery creaminess.
Okay.
With the cocoa. And some people might find that a little odd, but I think it's good. I don't know if it's better than the first one. It's just different. I think they both paired good in a different way depending on what you're looking for. I think this cigar on its own would probably be better on its own, personally. If this is what I think it is and it comes in a different shape, you can definitely tell the difference in the two. But there's still a very creamy cocoa, a little bit more of a woodiness, I would say, with this one.
But you say it does pair with the whiskey.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Does pair.
Okay, good.
A little bit of a more unique taste profile with the pair than the other one.
Okay.
I'd say the other one might be a little bit more harmonious.
Okay, that's good. That's very good. Let me take this one from you. Okay.
So that has the lightest draw of all of them. I hope you wanted this reaction because this one's weird, dude.
I was not expecting that, but I'm okay with it. Whatever you prefer. So when JB wasn't told about any of this, I had this idea on my own, and so he has no idea what cigars he's smoking and what bourbon he's drinking. So,
yeah, creamy, pretty smooth. There's a little bit of a bite on it because I'm getting a lot of smoke when I'm taking the drag.
Okay.
Very grassy.
Okay. I'll say honestly, I've never heard that cigar ever described as grassy. So it's one of the first things I've heard, first times I've ever heard that before.
Bourbon's pretty smooth, easy drinker.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
That's the best pairing, probably.
Those two? Yeah.
Maybe.
In my humble opinion, I think this is the absolute best bourbon to pair with cigars, hands down. From all the bourbons I've tried and everything like that, I think this is the best.
The more you say that, the more it makes me think I know what the bourbon is, but we'll see.
We're gonna find out. So, do you have any idea what you're smoking right now?
This one, no.
Okay.
There is one cigar that we've gotten in recently that I haven't re-smoked since they came back in, so I wouldn't know if one of them is that cigar. The second one I would guess is probably either a King's Comeback, maybe a Yeti Tracker. The first one I would guess is either could be a King's Envy, or it's another something I haven't smoked that's come back.
Okay.
This one, I don't know. This one's got me kind of confused because I don't remember tasting anything.
Is it enjoyable?
Yeah.
Okay. And what notes are you getting when you pair it with a bourbon?
It kind of kicks the grassiness out. Pretty smooth retrohale, light spice in the back of the throat. Mm-hmm. I would say overall, at the beginning, after smoking all the other cigars and bourbon and whatever, this was the weirdest one on its own, without the bourbon, but better with the bourbon.
Okay.
I would imagine the cigar might get better as I smoke it. We're obviously judging the first inch here.
We're just in the.
But it is getting a little creamier as I've been smoking it.
Okay.
But so far, these two are more complementary than the first two pairings.
Well, go ahead and take your blindfold off.
And the bourbon, I would say, is probably, if it's not the Knob Creek 100 proof. Oh my God, I'm gonna kick myself when you say
Woodford.
Woodford. That's my other guess.
Yeah.
It could also be Costco's. Costco's is very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not Woodford.
Not Woodford?
No.
Okay.
It's not Woodford.
Is it Knob Creek? Is it
is
the Black Velvet, dude?
It's not Black Velvet. It's just the regular Knob Creek.
Yeah, but it's sealed with the big black the wax on top.
Absolutely.
So the first time I got that at Costco, some dude goes, I went to the front to get ID. This has a really unique wrapper on it. This makes me think it's the Criollo.
Okay.
The first time I bought the Knob Creek, the dude didn't even ID me at the counter, and he's like, "Dude, when you're coming up here with the Black Velvet, dude, I know what you're looking for. I know you know what you're looking for."
Okay.
I'm just kidding. He ID'd me.
So which of these cigars paired the best with the bourbon?
With that bourbon specifically, this was probably the more pleasant pairing.
Okay.
The third one.
And there's no way I could have known that he would choose what cigars he chose.
No.
I mean, this is all spur of the moment. We don't have a script or anything else like that. Like some other cigar reviewers out there, we just kind of fly by the seat of our pants. So that cigar you thought was the best with the bourbon?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your second best cigar with the bourbon?
Probably the second one for me.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't know what this one is either?
I could assume by the size, because it's a thicker rolled Toro, sometimes that happens with the King's Comebacks.
Okay.
Or it's or our Toros are a little bit bigger on some of the Yeti Trackers.
Okay.
So those would be my two guesses on that one.
What about your very first cigar?
That one, it still paired well, but it's probably, for my palate, my least favorite of the three pairings.
Okay.
But I think the first and third would fit more palates overall.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the very first cigar that you smoked was the Criollo.
That was the Criollo?
Yeah, that was the Criollo. Yeah. And the second cigar you smoked was the King's Comeback.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
King's
one
Comeback.
I knew almost.
And you have
right
no
away.
idea what the third cigar is.
With it being this toothy like this, I don't, dude.
I love this part of my job because I get a chance to, throw Justin's things that he doesn't know.
I don't. It's really toothy.
Any guesses?
I haven't smoked anything this toothy, at least from us, in a while, dude.
That is the Primordial Habano.
Is it the Habano?
Yeah, it's a Primordial Habano.
Really?
Super underrated, bro.
What's weird about it is, I think I even said this a minute ago, it's probably my least favorite on its own out of the three.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I was just smoking a cigar, nothing else, water, it's not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But when you add the bourbon, wow. But that makes sense why there's Cuban-esque notes to it.
Correct.
Interesting.
All right, so final thoughts on the pairing. So Knob Creek, the regular, it goes with all cigars, or am I completely out of my mind on this one?
It went with these three.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've had Knob Creek with a lot of cigars too, man. And I'll be honest,
have too.
it's a very solid. I always get the 100 proof from Costco usually because it's a big bottle, that black velvet. And no, I would say typically it's a very easy drinker that is less likely to ruin a pairing than it is,
Absolutely.
than a lot of other ones for sure.
So if you guys want a safe bet on what bourbon to actually pair with your cigars, start with Knob Creek. There's 1,000 other ones I would tell you that are good with cigars, but that typically goes with any cigar because it has some sweet and spicy notes on it that actually complement most cigars out there. So that's all we got. So for the Zeal Cigar Review, I've been Bradley, he's been JB, and we're out of here literally like 2023. Peace.